Hi guys, so I pulled a card for you and we have the Seven of Fire. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Fire. Beautiful. Okay. And then we have Monopoly, Bookstore, Healing, Nurturing, Charmander, and Knights in Rodanthe. So with this immediately, it just reminds me of divination, like just reading tarot, just whatever your form of divination is. And the lotus is like kind of like just finding something that is helpful or you need, or just or even just like a blossoming of just energy within you. And this just reminds me of like Phoenix energy, just like coming out, just beautiful. Even with in Leo's reading and in Aries reading, we had the Swan Princess mentioned, but this is like a fiery version of that. That's, yeah, okay. So then we have Monopoly, which is a board game. I haven't played it in a long time, but I know it's, you play it and you try to own the properties on the actual like game board. I watched a clip right before this, just like a short clip, because it had like a synchronicity on it. Because I was trying to figure out like how I would even talk about this because I haven't played it in a long time. And it was about Monopoly Go, but it was like two guys playing Monopoly. And it starts off with the two guys, like it's fun, and then it goes into like a friendly competition, but it progresses and progresses until the people are angry and one of the guys like flips the board. So we're gonna see if that means anything. And then Bookstore reminds me of, just because we have like romantic comedy right here, reminds me of what's that movie, You've Got Mail, the bookstore, where those two people, I believe it was Tom Hanks and I forgot what the woman's name is, but they're like at odds with each other. Like this whole like weird story is like going on, but at the same time, like behind the scenes, like they're connected in like a way, but they don't know who each other is. Okay, and then we have Healing, which just could be just healing in any way, even with like whatever this lotus is, because lotuses, like technically, they bloom from muddy water, murky water, but they're this beautiful flower, which could be what this healing is about. And bookstore healing. So could even be about the two people from the bookstore when they, at the end, when they realize who each other is and they're healing. Okay, then we have nurturing. Can just like be mothering or parenting in some way, like caring for someone or something, your partner. And then Charmander, so nurturing Charmander. I actually pulled this out because I saw the Charmander, and this is a poem that I actually have connected with Charmander in my own life. So we're gonna read that in just a minute. And then we have Knights in Rodanthe, which is a romantic comedy about two older people. and I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember it takes place on like a beach, and she's like renting out like rooms or something like that, and she's a painter, I believe. And I think he's a writer, and I think they're both widowed. And anyways, they like, they find each other and fall in love. And yeah. So, huh. So, this card, these two cats, normally like I see them in a good light, but with this, I just saw a scene the other day with the Siamese cats from um Lady and the Tramp. And so these cats like remind me of that, the Lady and the Tramp scene. So, hmm. Trying to determine whether or not this like feels like it's watching over your energy in some way, or if it's like threatening this lotus, like it's aware of your lotus. This reminds me of the Gemini reading. If you haven't watched the Gemini reading, it's like there's something going on where like some kind of energy was hovering over something sacred and not in a good way. And it, hmm, that's what I'm getting from this card. And I'm not, and she kind of reminds me of like this lotus unfurling. See? Siamese cats hovering over a bird. Oh, in that scene, there's a bird in a cage that one of the cats is trying to get. Hmm. But Monopoly, trying to own property, or even just could be like friendly competition turned angry, because we have then the You've Got Mail, which was like kind of a complex story where at the beginning these two people are writing each other. It's almost like you could consider it like maybe even a dating app or something like that. um but they don't know who each other is, because this was like back in the day with like email where you don't like know the face of the people. And so they were messaging each other back, and they were kind of slowly like building up like this kind of like relationship between each other, like behind the screen. But in real life, like they bumped into each other in a library, I believe. Her library was shutting down, and he was like either managing like this bigger library that was putting her library, or bookstore that was putting her bookstore out of just taking the money and like the um, funds from her bookstore, kind of like a Walmart does from like small businesses. And healing, like in this You've Got Mail story, they they realize who each other is, and then it like changes the whole like dynamic, and then they're like angry with each other. But behind the scenes, like they're still like writing each other back and forth and don't realize that that is who they're talking to. So it's funny because like behind the screen, like when they're writing, they really like each other. But when they're like interacting, they don't like each other, but it's because they're like at odds with something, like their jobs are conflicting with each other. With the like small business feel of like her job and the kind of Walmart sized kind of like business of his job. Okay, and then nurturing. I keep wanting to say nurturing Charmander. So this could simply be like nurturing like the inner child, like nurturing a child. But I have here, this is connected to mine, my like, I guess you could say Charmander. It's one of my poems, and I've gotten like, this is where I'm like feeling a sense of like discernment, because you know, we keep getting the message in the Gemini reading, and then we have these Siamese cats here. And the energy was very much like someone trying to steal like the things that you've put hours and hours and hours of work and practice into. And that reminds me of poetry in your artwork. And so, and I just like posted a poem, and that's fine. Like that was like needed for Gemini. Um, that's where like I'm kind of at this place where I'm not quite sure how much of like my art to actually like show and my poetry and my writings, because there's like this weird energy like hovering, and it's coming from like this Gemini energy, and I'm not quite sure what that's about yet, and it's a little concerning. And so maybe you might be going through something like this, and whatever that might be about, I think it'd be wise to practice a level of discernment. I pulled this out because I was going to read it because I saw Charmander here. But now I'm starting to think like get your spiritual guidance. Should I reveal this? No. No. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm not sure if someone's like trying to steal your property or your hard work or your art in whatever way. There's something that maybe you might be revealing at this point that you might need to just like slow down and maybe rely on your spiritual guidance right now to kind of show you the way through, because I got a clear no. Like literally like that. Like don't show that. So it's a little disappointing because I would love to show you guys. But it's about just like pushing through. It's about knowing how to aim for something and how to pull yourself through to it. About having a goal and knowing how to get through like the hard stuff and getting to the actual goal accurately, like an arrow. I'm gonna say it like that. And yeah, I would really like to know what this energy is about, just like for you guys as well, because we have this energy right here, being clarifying it. And it seems like it's that energy sitting in the bowl that these Siamese cats are hovering around. Maybe even this person. I'm not quite sure what this person is about, but in the Gemini reading, there was someone hovering over something precious. I provided a poem, one of my poems that I wrote about air protection. If you want to go check that out, you're welcome to. But it's about like creating an alarm system around you, like an alarm, like an intention, a prayer, a spell, like however you want to, whatever that means for you. I just don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing here, and we're seeing it again. And it looks like good stuff. We have like romantic stuff coming through, comedy, this like just beautiful thing coming through. But then we have this weird thing about like small business, big business, something about owning something. And earlier today, I'm going to go ahead and say a theme that I was seeing. It sounds like someone's trying to collect something in some way. Like own it from you, direct it for themselves. I think I want to leave it at that. I just think that it's important for you to exercise discernment right now around something about something that you own, a property. And I don't want to like frighten you. Just like it's something, if you have an alarm bell going off within you about what this might be, just protect it a little extra tightly, like I did right here with this. I was going to share this, but I got a clear no from my spiritual guidance. I don't know why, but obviously that's important in some way. And I'm going to do my own like investigating after this. So, okay. So, I mean, this is like romantic energy, so that's why I'm like having a hard time. Like there's like this weird thing going on, and then there's like this romantic thing going on, so this could be just like two separate like things completely. Like maybe whoever's watching this, some people are going through like this over here, and some people are going through like, you know, this more romantic stuff. So yeah, Knights in Rodanthe, I think I clarified that enough. I think I'm gonna watch that tonight because I own that movie. But yeah, it's about an older couple. I believe they're widows, and they have like this weird like tension, I believe, at the beginning. Like, I don't think that they like each other, or there's some kind of conflict. Once again, like, you know, with this like bookstore thing. Okay, so I'm gonna play around with like the dynamics of the messages just to see if we can get anything else out of it. So nurturing monopoly. Monopoly nurturing something. Nurturing a bookstore owner. So maybe there is a level of healing. Maybe you're more towards the end of the story, like of like the You've Got Mail story. Maybe it's closer to the ending than you think. Because we have healing here. Yeah, with the whole monopoly thing, a bigger store, something bigger. Hmm. I'm thinking that might be the end of the message. That kind of like abruptly ended. I think that might be the message. So, yeah, if you just need like an extra sense of protection, just go find that poem. It's in my shorts section. But it really looks like something is like blossoming, like a phoenix like energy is like coming out, and it just feels like something is hovering over it, like almost like what's his name from Harry Potter? Oh, that guy who collects students. I can't even think of his name right now, but he collects students like they're almost like pieces. Like they're special or in some way. Or he finds them to be special. But this is like a phoenix like energy. And maybe you're just like popping out, like kind of like me. I feel like I'm just kind of popping out, um, you know, with my channel. It's very new. I just didn't like that energy like from the Gemini reading, and now it's popping up here in the collective message. So there's something quite beautiful going on. I just want you to have like that conversation. Something really beautiful is happening. There's literally like two romantic flicks are coming out in this reading. But there's also like this bigger story happening as well. Two stories at least, potentially three stories that this is about. So nurture your energy, like nurture your ability to set your aim on a goal, and keep your eyes set on it. Know how to keep the vision. Keep the vision and keep taking one step at a time, and just with every step, just keep refocusing on the vision. Just keep refocusing. Like it's like pulling you through. That's the best way I can say it. It's like being pulled through. Every step, refocus. Every step, refocus. Like allow it to feel like it's pulling you to your goal. That's all I'm gonna say with that. So, I hope you got something out of this. I didn't mean to like scare anyone or make anyone feel like uncomfortable, but like that just like I didn't like it when I saw it in the other reading, and I don't like it. It's coming through again, and it's around like quite a beautiful energy right here. So, just protect your energy in whatever way you need to, or whatever this is about. Yeah. Okay, well, I will see you next time, and thanks for tuning in. All right, bye.